My name is Kayode Oladele, and I represent Iwa North and Imekwa from Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, colleagues, I'm from Ogun State. In addition to what has been eloquently described and stated in the motion, I also want to say that it is really not a good time for us in the country today. A senator who was fingered has been the person who orchestrated this one. Within 24 hours, was granted a restraining order from arrest by a court of law in Nigeria. You will recall, Mr. Speaker, that a couple of weeks ago, there was a debate on this same floor that the judiciary is interfering very unwholesomely with the business of this very assembly. How many people, Mr. Speaker, if I may ask, how many people, suspects, could go to the court and within 24 hours, the event happened on the previous day, and by 12 hours after the event, there was an order of court restraining the police from arresting this same person. Somebody who should have been detained by the police. Somebody, and at the court, Mr. Speaker, I think unless we are not being fair to ourselves, the judiciary will be the first institution to truncate this democracy. All the time we talk about the politicians, but the damage the judiciary is doing to our democracy as well as the institution of government is very, very, maybe irredeemable unless something is done. Mr. Speaker, apart from urging us as an assembly to support this motion, I want to move that we condemn this very action by the judge. And of course, maybe if necessary, we should let the CJN know the principles of separation of power. Now, this order of the court is to restrain the police from arresting. So can this same judge grant an order to somebody who stole a goat? Because, is it because of the status of this person or because of those who are involved? Because the whole thing looked like a script. It's like an order has been already granted and then been held. And as soon as this is done, then I will present it. I think we are heading towards anarchy unless we rise up against this type of thing. Mr. Speaker, I rise to speak in favor of this motion and also to urge that the judiciary respect the principle of separation of powers. I so move. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.